She's got some quite big questions for you today, for a very small person.
Lola, let's have your questions then.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, I'm running on 1 hour's sleep.
I remember these days.
I'm fresh off the school run.
Whatever job I've ever done, I've never been as tired as when our children were the same.
So Lola's first question is, obviously we hear about the free breakfast club scheme. What are the sort of main benefits from your side and the importance of the current government for this scheme?
I think these breakfast clubs are fantastic. I'm a big fan of them. For children, it's really good for their development because they're in an environment, before school, they're mixing with other kids. Yes, it's sort of breakfast club. There's bits of learning and socialisation and skills, which are really important. And you can see that happening.
So you've experienced that with your kids?
Yeah. And we put our kids in and it was a great thing to do. I'm very worried at the evidence of disparity in sort of ability to learn when children get into the first year of primary or reception. Massive disparities, probably more than they've ever been. So breakfast clubs help to close that gap a little bit earlier. How ready kids are to start learning at the age of 4 or 5 is going to have a massive impact later in life. I mean, it disproportionately impacts women, that extra hour or whatever it is in the morning. That means for the individual parent, getting back to work, getting a bit more money. And obviously for the economy, we've got more people working. More women take more time off in relation to childcare than men do, and therefore there's a gap in their progression which isn't the same for men. I also need to be clear that breakfast clubs are free, and therefore that saves about £450.
It's going to benefit you and me, Lola B. And I think that's the main reason, obviously, I am driving around this sort of campaign is for flexible working. What are your feelings around flexibility and the kind of importance of that for parents?
Yeah, the bill that we've introduced, soon to be an act, will allow a sort of right to ask for flexible working, and then an employer, business, whatever it is, has got to respond to that. For many people, allows them to get back into the labour market or to do more in the labour market than they might otherwise do.
Specifically mothers. Flexible working's been linked to closing the gender pay gap, so we've sort of said that. But the gender pay gap has widened from 2023 to 2024. Yeah. So what is this government doing to close that? She's sitting looking at you for this little one.
Yeah, so this one's for you. Although we're not going to have to wait that long.
Let's hope.
No, I mean, look, we've got to close this gap. It's really important and it's heading the wrong direction, so we need to turn that around. We're putting a huge amount into childcare more generally, which, for all the same reasons in many respects, is important. One, to get women in particular back into the workforce if that's what they want to do, and to reduce the gap in the progression of their career, which does have a massive impact.
I think it's 74,000 mothers every year get made redundant or lose their job on maternity leave. So it's a vast
It's a huge
number.
I think also what we're doing on sort of minimum wages is really important as well, which is to lift that level up. We just, the national living wage was raised this month by an extra £1,400.
Well, LinkedIn, I think, put parent now as a job title.
Yeah.
But
it's one of the hardest jobs I've ever done.
We're looking at each other both. Well, you're through the woods because you've got older kids now, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was 16 and 14. It gets different.
And how do you balance this job that you have with being a working parent?
I love being with my kids. They are literally my pride and joy, and I want to spend as much time with them as I can. They're growing up really fast, you know what that's like. I don't want to be one of those blokes, and it nearly always is blokes, who years down the line say, I wish I'd spent more time with my kids. If you want to spend more time with your kids, spend more time with your kids.
Yes.
And do it now. Don't talk about it after the event when you can't get it back.
And it's not daddy daycare. It's not babysitting your own child.
Strictly on Fridays, we very rarely accept an invitation to go anywhere because we spend the evening with our kids. Taking them to clubs and things at the weekend is really important. From here to my flat is 22 seconds. I'm going to go up there at 2 just for 20 minutes to have a quick sandwich with them.
It's connection with your children. And I'm afraid on that note, she's going to have to go and have her food. Was it like being interviewed by Jeremy Paxman?
Much harder. I can see that in a number of years she's going to be back here sitting in this chair, interviewing some Prime Minister of the future.
Are we looking at the face of the future Prime Minister?
Well, look at that.
I have a feeling we might be.
Look at that. See you later.